Yo, 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 and away we go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It has been a frantic week, to say the least. We got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Hey, I got new music here for the pre-show, so when you guys pop in, Twitch is offering a free 90-day check on the new Pretzel Rocks app. So I thought I'd give it a try here, see if you guys enjoy it. We'll be able to use that a little bit more on our grinding streams, like especially when we're doing NBA or MLB or FIFA that are coming up. That way, games that have DMCA music, we can use this instead. So thought I'd give it a little try, see what we could do to make it fly. Wow, it's been interesting, but yeah. Hello, welcome. Good to see everybody today. We got, I guess if we're equating this to a baseball game, last week was the opening innings. We're getting into the about the fourth, fifth, sixth. We got to set things up for the seventh. This main event might be considered what you consider the seventh inning, maybe the eighth of our reach out to Grand Slam next week here for AEW. And I have to say, the biggest news we've heard today from AEW or this week is the fact there hasn't been any news. Isn't it enjoyable to sit back, and we've had a week now where we really haven't had much in drama in terms of craziness going. There was a report coming out that a local politician in Wembley is announced that there's only been 71,000 people at the show for All Out, or All In, sorry. I'll be frankly honest, I don't care. He touts 81,000. Vince McMahon touts 70 or 93,000 for WrestleMania 3. Nobody's really going to care either way. They're going to, and the company that sold the tickets said 81,000. They have to actually pay tax on that, so I'll go with the 81,000 because you're not going to overinflate your numbers that much when you're announcing your ticket sold. So either way, as it works out. But yeah, no drama. Not much really in the world of punk. I think the biggest news overall might be the TKO merger with UFC and WWE, and the fact that Vince had jet black hair so nobody recognized him. I don't know, maybe for that. But other than that, the fact that there hasn't been anything real crazy outside of the wrestling business, like for the wrestling business, it's been absolutely nuts. You got Becky Lynch as the new women's NXT champion. Tonight you got Roderick Strong and Samoa Joe. Winner of that match is going to face MJF next week. And we have stories for both of them. And that's the thing I like, is the fact that no matter who wins, we're going to get a good storyline out of it. We might actually even get back to the predictions today. I know there was a request last week for it. But, yeah, as well, we have a number one contendership match for the women's championship for next week. We got Britt Baker DMD versus Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose versus Toni Storm. And I'll say it right now, based on the interactions with Shida and Baker, I got a feeling they're going to be going into a rivalry. Nyla Rose, well, I appreciate having you there, but Nyla Rose and Saraya just, it almost feels like that'd be a Nia Jax versus anybody match. Not equating Nyla to Nia at all. I think Nyla's an absolute fantastic worker. Nia, I'm just waiting to see who she injures first. But it looks like we're probably setting up for Toni Storm versus Saraya at the Grand Slam event next Wednesday. And we also have announced the huge match tonight. The one that I'm disappointed we don't have Christian Cage involved or have a cage match, because we're going to have the rage between Brian Cage and Adam Page on this stage tonight. Wonder how much alliteration's been going around the internet advertising this match here. So, and then out of that, hey, Mr. Zodiac, how you doing? Do me a favor, because I've been working on something today, and I'm hoping it works. Because you were talking about having different stuff coming on. Do me a favor, since you're a subscriber, type in !walk on, WALKON, in the chat and see if it does anything for you. Nothing. All right, well, I was working with the Blur program and trying to, there's a little thing you could set up where we can set up when you come into the chat, you can type in that little exclamation point there, and it will give you a little entrance music and whatnot, so you can promote yourself. But either way, I'll work on it some more. But like I said, I've been trying to progress stuff. How are you, by the way? I hope you're excited. This is going to be a fun week sports-wise. As I mentioned yesterday, I did pick up NBA 2K, the WNBA version. Tomorrow, Mortal Kombat. We're going to be decapitated. Well, we're probably going to be playing the story mode, so there probably won't be as much decapitating, but there will be a hell of a story. Oh, God. Ready for some wrestling because the fantasy team got crushed? I hear ya. You want to talk about crushed? I am a Bills fan. I have been a Bills fan since the infamous wide right that happened, I believe it was 1993, is when I actually had Bills as the team I was working with as a fan. And now that we're getting good, we end up taking on what is supposed to be mythologically the most amazing quarterback in the world. And he gets injured 4 plays into the game, and we still lose.
You idiot!
Like, I'm sorry, but yeah, that straight up team. I don't play fantasy anymore just because I've had enough problems trying to keep track of all the streams I'm doing and all the video I got to update. I don't have time to keep track of extra fantasy teams, so it almost feels like a full-time job some days, trying to make sure your team's right. And the overthinking that you do as you do it, so I know that HPC Too Sweet has been working on, or HPC Bad Guys now, as they're called. They were working on sort of a wrestling draft, so my team was right, they just sucked. You know what? There was a lot of people that sucked last week. Well, any quarterback that got paid this summer, they sucked. I think the only exception to that was Dak. You look at Joe Burrow, he sucked. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the tweets that are coming down right now just before we get going here. See if there's anything last minute. Nope, nothing big coming down here yet. I used to do fantasy baseball since that was my favorite sport. It's like a job. It's every day. Yeah, like you're putting in 2 to 3 hours. Well, you're putting at least 30 minutes in every day to make sure your lineup's set, especially in something like baseball. Football's not as bad because you set it by Thursday and you got to leave it for the week. But yeah, I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable doing all of them anymore. I believe the last one I did was a hockey fantasy draft. I did it with former MPW wrestler Maniac was running it. So he needed some bodies, so I would volunteer to help out, but it didn't work out for me, so. But Once again, just to give you guys a heads up, I guess I should put in the stream title. I did add a whole bunch of new sound alerts available for points and for bits as well. I kept the bits at 25 for the moment. So basically it's a quarter to play one of the special sounds on there. I will be playing around with that in the future, plus the walk-on that I mentioned. Subscribers will be able to get a custom walkout alert, whether it'll be a specific sound you can pick. What's the story on WrestleDream? Seems like it came out of nowhere. Well, Tony Khan talked about it during his London press conference, the post show for Allin, that he wanted to do this tribute to Antonio Inoki following his passing. However, he wasn't able to due to COVID. So now AEW is not great at advertising stuff that much in advance. Like, let's put an example out there. We just got an announcement today that January's Royal Rumble is going to be in Tampa. So, shout out to Astrid, who's going to be able to go watch it. So, oh, that's right. We're getting Moxley and Big Bill tonight too. All right. As per request last week, I'm going to give this a try for another week here. We're going to open up the channel points once again. But I'm throwing a little twist on it so we can make it a little easier this time. And I'll throw it up here because I guarantee it's going to be at least 5 minutes. There you go. For those that were asking for predictions, we just threw them back up again, but I put a little twist on it. We're going to go for not only who's going to win, but how they're going to win. But yeah, so this WrestleDream card, it's actually out in Seattle, which actually helps out quite a bit for the ticket sales, because now that Danielson's announced that he's doing a part-time schedule for the rest of, basically to wind down his career, and he's getting a chance to take on Zack Sabre Jr. for the card, I have no doubt that they're going to get a ton of people there for that. I would think they'd probably get more if they would advertise a little sooner. So what do y'all think about Ricky Starks? Like, he really showed up at All Out against Danielson, and now they've decided to move things around here, take Big Bill out of the Mogul Embassy and put him as the heavy for Ricky. I think it's actually a great choice. Gives a lot of vibes to that Diesel Shawn Michaels back in the early 90s for me. Moxley just turns around, yeah, hit me, you son of a gun. All right, you hit him. Now he should be getting a ball. Yeah, that was better. I do like the fact that Big Bill, Cass, whatever way you want to call him, W. Morrissey, he's gotten a little bit more personality now than he used to. Oh, we're getting Cool Hand Ange and Daddy Magic versus Darby and Nick Wayne. That's going to be interesting. So yeah, welcome everybody. Good to see everyone here tonight as we're getting going early here. But yeah, when you talk, like, is Ricky going to be fighting for that international title? Is that what we're going to be doing here? Because I got a real strong feeling that they're going to make this international title sort of the collision heavyweight championship kind of thing. Nice boot. I love Ricky's nonchalant. Oh, wait, ref's catching me here. That's the funny part. A guy like Big Bill really doesn't need extra help if he's got the right push. But it is nice that he has a bit of a mouthpiece that's working with him. And Ricky's promos have actually been really strong. Like to go toe-to-toe with Charles Martavius there for, well, hell, the life of Collision so far. That was a little rough, but not bad. Oh, look at that. He's literally got the knuckle of his hand right up into the chin of Big Bill there. That actually makes a lot of sense. It's almost as if Starks is mocking him there for the moment. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get a pretty decent show here tonight. Overall here, and like, I find it interesting that we are getting so much in so little time here, because like next week's Grand Slam well, hell, not even, it'll be about a week and a half after that we get WrestleDream. Probably going to get another event between that and Full Gear. By the way, once again, everybody, just to remind you, we are doing a watch along for, or we're doing a live streaming or live viewing of WrestleDream at Beercade YEG for October 1st. But Saturday, November 18th, I will be here with you guys for Full Gear, so we can watch the show together and see how the pay-per-view goes, and we could just chat about it and enjoy it all together. Bill taking full control here, and I like during the commercial break when it can just be a very basic beatdown. Like, they're not doing anything like crazy that we need to hear a fan pop for, right? That's one of the coolest parts about this right now. The only thing I don't like is we know he's not going to get pinned during the we know he's not going to get a pin during the commercial break. Sorry, I just saw another notification come up for me here. So is Moxley bleeding or is Morrissey bleeding right now? Oh yeah, no. They're going to let Mox bleed since he's at home, right? Is that how it works? Oh, yeah. Like, I was talking about that at the beginning of the show here, Zodiac. It's pretty awesome, the fact that this week, the best thing about AEW is the fact we haven't heard anything from AEW. Like, I think the only thing we've heard is a few promos, and that's about it. Speculation about Adam Copeland coming over. But that's merely fan speculation more than anything. There was a big announcement for us Canadian fans here once again. Eastern Canadian fans. Let me correct myself because I pissed off about this as much as anybody else half the time. AEW is going to be making their Montreal debut this December. I believe it's a week before WWE comes into town. So it's going to be interesting to have both programs in the same province within a couple weeks here. Man, that slam looks cool and strange all at the same time because, you know, the way that Bill does it. Like when he lands on his butt right there, right? Like you guys see the replay here. In when it comes to, you want Jericho at a poutine match? I will give you that for that one, Zodiac. The one cool thing about that makes it a little different than a lot is most people land on their knees when they're giving out that move. Like there's sort of like a rock bottom kind of thing. But basically, Bill sits out on it. I really enjoy that. It's a little intricacies that make you different than everybody else. Nice little lariat there. WWE Cop Raid, Boss Man Slam. I'll give you one of those. And then, actually, it's funny because, yeah, the other person that uses that for the most part would be Abyss. And he's actually an agent for WWE now. So that's a very good point, Jaeger. Uh-oh. Do we have a submission here, God? What was the final results? Oh, boy. If this ends up being a chokeout, everybody loses their points. That's why I said I want to make this a little bit more interesting for you guys. And Bill rolls out. Ha! That's awesome. I know most of you guys have lots of points to get rid of here, and that's why I went in and tried to get more sound alerts for you guys so you guys can play around with those if you want. No way. Really? I was gonna say, could they make that a quick title change just because they got the title off him? Well, Danielson has been around for a while, so I'm glad he's back out. He was out on Saturday for Collision, but... Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention about that taping in Montreal, they're actually doing a Tuesday, Wednesday. They're taping Collision on Tuesday, and they're doing their Dynamite Rampage taping on the Wednesday. Cast is off, yeah. Well, the cast was off for the pay-per-view, too. Because, yeah, the cast was off during the pay-per-view match with Starks, too. But it was actually funny. Like, we were talking about this last week. Danielson did not use his right arm for strikes at all in that match with Starks, the strap match. So, they're advertising Grand Slam next week, right? And the tickets that are still available. What do you guys think of that? With the fact that they... Like right now, early speculation, I do believe they say they only got about 6,000 or 7,000 sold for Grand Slam right now. Welp. Uh-oh, Moxley and Danielson back at it outside. Too many pay-per-views? I've also seen the prices of the tickets, and I'll be honest, I wasn't going to pay for it. All right. Oh my, Oh. Could we be setting up with Starks, Bill, and Claudio? Because that's going to be one hell of a match next week. So Moxley oh my. Folks, I think we got a bit of a humdinger of a match next week. And I'm going to be extra fired up for it because I'm on holidays next week. Let's just... Claudio and Eddie is next week, but this spot made BCC look... Here's the thing, Jaeger, and this is sort of a bizarre world thing. Like, you know how they talk about Canadians getting over in Canada? Tonight's in Cincinnati, right? Because if they're in Cincinnati, they're not going to boo Moxley no matter what the hell he does. So, my God, it's AEW's D'Lo Brown. Well, oh my. We'll get back to Phoenix here in a second against Moxley. Renee's looking especially white tonight. And I don't mean that in a racist term. I just mean, a little bit of ghost makeup going on there. But yeah, with Phoenix, like, Phoenix could use all the belts. If he only has one belt, then that's... If it's one belt, I'd like to see him have the Workman's belt. Because, and let's face it, that international title, Orange Cassidy turned it into a workhorse title. Oh, great. We get to listen to the human fart. I love the fact that Shivani got indigestion just before he said the words Don Callis. That was great. One will do for now, absolutely. Let's just, So how is Callis in there shooting arrows in that picture? Seriously. I will say the gimmick for Takeshita in all this is absolutely amazing. I don't know about you guys, but what he gives me is that vibe of that cool assassin that you get in the movies. And this is how you maximize your opportunities with somebody without taking away any of their faults, right? And Shivani just keeps dying as Callis grabs the mic. I'm glad to see that Callis thinks that he's done some extra work here tonight or last week. Wait, are they bringing up Ace Austin in here? Cena, no mercy, no. WWF Legend 64. It's got Shivani on commentary amongst others. Shivani was actually with the WWF before he moved over to WCW. It was right around that time when Monday Night Raw was just starting to be a thing. He wasn't in commentary. He was backstage for the most part, I do believe. Oh my. Like Shivani for the most part, sorry, getting back to Shivani here for a second. He did a lot of those from the broadcast center segments. Chad Gable can't be happy. No. No, he's part of the Alpha Academy. He trains people like Takeshita. It also makes you wonder how much they're going to... How much Tony wants to dip into that copyright pool right now. And it wasn't you that painted it, so shut up. Is it Ibushi or is it... Yeah, it's Ibushi. Yeah, that's what I figured. Streamer in Takeshita's hair, yeah, you ain't gonna touch it either. A nice green braid, right? You tell me that isn't gonna be a meme somewhere. He'll be there. What are you talking about? That bow is perfect. Picking on Shivani, that's all. At least we got another WrestleDream match set up. I figured it out. Ha! And he's probably thinking of the back. He's thinking of the back of his head. What the hell? I love Moxley there. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Where the hell did that come from? Phoenix never speaks English. Well, at least that clearly, that quickly. This is hilarious. Those guys want to kill each other, and these two are just staring off. Oh, I love the mind games by Kingston. He's getting all the belts confirmed. Yeah, you know what? That's a very good point. I would love to see Phoenix with that championship just because Moxley doesn't need a title. Phoenix doesn't need a title, but it'd also be nice to give Phoenix a singles title just to, let everybody know that he has one. So I want your early predictions here, guys. For that title versus title match, it's really weird on how that's going to go. Love how they made... Yeah, I was just bringing that up, Jagger. The fact that we have a title versus title match here, I really don't know which way that's going to go. Because normally when you have a champion in another company putting his title on the line, he'll never lose it. But Claudio, Ring of Honor champion, sort of makes sense for more than anything. Like, I don't know which way it's going to go. We might get Eddie winning the champ. That might very well be, well, no, we'll get the MJF match as the main event. We could even have that as the opener, maybe. If we have that as the opener, maybe get Eddie versus Claudio as the main. I know it's a little crazy booking for conventional thinkers, but Tony Khan isn't exactly the most conventional thinker in the world sometimes. Sometimes he's back in the 30s with some of his booking, but we'll talk about that during the women's match. But when it comes to Kingston and Claudio, could there be a way that match gets thrown out somehow? I don't think so. This is AEW, and basically they've had the ring explode once, and nobody thought anything different of it. So I really don't know which way that match is going to go. That's one I'm really excited for. And I find it amazing. We've been through half an hour, and all we've seen is the Moxley match so far. Couple promos that, get their point across, push towards next week. From what I've seen today, is going to be a little lighter of a card again. And let's face it is the dog days of fall right now for wrestling in general. We used to blame it for WWE because of Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, just hogging up all the fans for what? I have a different take on it. I personally think a lot of this has to do with the fact that there's a lot of families that are going back to school. There's a lot of kids going back to school, in general, and also people. When it gets this time of year, you're getting close to Christmas too, so you're saving your money up. A lot of people can't afford to do a lot of these events, so you're going to see numbers go down, and in wrestling in general, and all entertainment for that matter. All right. All right. That was a nice little breakup of them. Oh, whoa! Folks, they're doing it again. They're moving the women's match all the way around. I'm surprised they're using the Outcast music for Toni Storm. DQs in AEW are rare. Watching an old 1998 Raw earlier, and there were 3 DQs. Go back even further. Like in the 80s. There were like WrestleMania 1 was 3/4 DQs or countouts. All right, there we go. Give you guys 5 minutes on this one, too. This one is a little wide open here. But yeah, WrestleMania 1, even WrestleMania 3, like that epic show in front of everybody, there were DQs all over the place here. This is kind of like Eddie Claudio, the match next week. I don't know if it's going to be Britt or Storm. There's some storylines forming here that I think it's... We were talking about this during the pre-show. And Gagger nailed it right on... You nailed it right on the head here. That they're starting to tease this Britt versus Shida matchup here. And I don't know whether they're going to actually pull the trigger on that now. They could probably set up that match for WrestleDream, right? Because they're going to want... Because if it's a tribute to Inoki, they're probably going to want to have some kind of Japanese representation there. Darth Mick, I'll just... That's what I'm doing with that one. I think that Tony Khan's starting to learn a little bit, and the biggest thing he's learning right now, by the way, good to see you, Darth. The biggest thing he's learning right now is all these dream matches that he wants to do, get them out of the way before people get injured. And my apologies to both of you tonight, Darth Mick and Zodiac. I do have the SWO shirt. That's the Turning World Order. I just didn't... I didn't have it available. Or, sorry, I didn't have it available to wear because it's too goddamn hot yet still. Pray Saturn, pray Saturn, pray Saturn. I should get a sound clip of that somehow. Or will Monet be at WrestleDream? I don't think so. If they're going to debut her, here's my prediction. If she's going to debut with AEW, it's going to be at Full Gear. And the reason I say it's going to be in Full Gear, it's going to be in LA. At the Forum, which is considered a huge boon for AEW. Well, Storm almost took out her own knees there. The way she landed on that. What is she? Oh my goodness. All right, we're heading into picture-in-picture here, but good on Shida for getting that dive in. I do appreciate the fact that Holy Shida is getting over a little bit more than, we even seen even just a few months ago. Like, she was putting in the work on Rampage. She was putting in the work on Dark and Dark Elevation when they were still a thing. The stare down that Shida's been doing with Athena lately, all I can say is yes, please. Can we please have that? Please, can we please have some more? Because I'm really looking forward to that match. Like Britt, I don't know if Britt's going to be taking more time off here as we go along here, just because, you know, she is working with a bad back right now. So, yeah. And she's got a full-time job on top of it, which the life can get to you after a while. You know, you try and do too many things at once and it starts screwing with you. Trust me, I'm starting to figure that out right now. I'm glad I got some time off next week. By the way, if you guys weren't around earlier, I'm going to be on a lot between the 20th and the 30th here. We got a whole bunch of different games coming out. We got MK1 coming out tomorrow. They obviously put the title on her just to get Saraya at Allin. Yeah, I'm not gonna doubt that. But the other thing I'm gonna say about that, Jaeger, and in terms of a feel-good moment, for all the time that Shida had to put up with no crowd during her entire title reign, me speak English well, having her have the ability to come out in front of 70, 80,000, I'm not getting into that prediction here, but that many people in Wembley as the champion, while it's still not the perfect scenario, just the fact that you get to come out to the ring as champion and get the pop that she did, because she did get a pop. It wasn't mind-numbing or anything, but it was a very decent pop. For me personally, I feel that it was sort of justified to have her in that position if you couldn't get Jamie Hayter in there as your champion. I think there was more to it than just, oh, well, we need a placeholder here so that Saraya could get the championship at Allin. I do believe that was the end goal, but I do feel that there was a secondary reason behind it. So the one thing that scares me about this, that makes me think it might be Baker in this situation, is they use the Outcast music to start. Like, I know we got one vote for Storm here and the other one's for Shida, it looks like. But the ratios are very different. I do find it fun. I want to see Nyla Rose win it just so everybody's like, what the hell? Shida helps Rose by kicking Storm in the head and almost loses the match. That was hilarious. It's actually a lot of ingenuity there too. Whoa! Over the top. And Baker still, oh no. Oh, there's a kick. Britt did not want to take that choke slam. I don't blame her. Oh, Shida. And Storm steals it. Wow, that was nice. At least they got 10 minutes tonight. And Sheeta just screaming at Baker. So, yeah, they're really setting this up. All right, let me pay this out. But yeah, it was a... Oh, here we go. Now we get to hear about the Outcasts imploding. Oh God! So why are they? They should have just switched up her music tonight if they're gonna treat her like this. I could honestly see Storm winning this, and then changing that belt, making it like the original Mildred Burke world title. So now we got another 10-minute match, and now we're going to get another 20 minutes of promos. This should be fun. No more green hair for Ruby. Yeah, that's true. I honestly feel like Ruby's going to be turning on Saraya too as well, just because of what... There's been a little bit of change in attitude in Saraya since she got the championship. I could almost see Ruby doing the switch too, and this could be a way maybe... I don't know which way you would go with this. Which one would you guys prefer? Would you prefer Toni Storm as a face or Saraya as a face in this case? They both be sassier than hell. But the fact that Toni Storm is over like Rover right now, after just throwing a couple shoes around, I don't know. For me, it just seems like there's got to be a little bit more of a hardened split between these guys. I will say this. There's one or two things that happen here tonight. Either A, they didn't tease the split enough, or B, the production guys screwed up, just like they did with Will Ospreay on his debut in AEW. If Storm is doing this current gimmick, I think she's heel and doesn't need any teammates. That could very well make a lot of sense too. So, like, I don't know. Would you put Saraya as a babyface? I don't think so. She's too much of a jerk. I guess we are living in a bit of a world of tweeners right now, because look what's going on the other end here. Storm as a face? Fair enough. Like I said, it's weird. With AEW, it's very different from what I've seen for a lot of other, a lot of indie products, a lot of the WWE, the Impact, all that. There are a tremendous amount of tweeners here. Like the ones that you really don't know whether they're face or heel, and you're just looking for great matches out of them, right? Like even Jericho and Guevara, like, they're supposed to be heels, but they're acting as faces. One's being heelish, the other one's being sort of heelish, but they're sort of doing some face traits. It seems to be a category out of AEW that makes them stand out a little bit, both good and bad, because you don't know whether to cheer or boo certain people, right? They should take Billy Starks from Athena and make Billy and Ruby a tag team. Once the injury gets healed, there's a million different things they could do right now. But I do think they do need to blow off the Billy Starks versus Athena match before they do anything else. Because right now she's doing the assistant gimmick because she's injured, right? That's what I was told is the reason why she wasn't on the All-In card as part of that 6-person tag to start off the show. Or start off the pre-show, sorry. But yeah, like I would love to see. There's a lot of things I'd like to see out of the booking of the women's division with Tony Khan, but it's just, it's almost the point where you don't have any faith in what he's going to do. And it's almost like, as much as we don't want to deal with it, like, you know how they just say, just deal with it, this is what's going to happen? Oh, shoot, we haven't even mentioned Jade Cargill's return. Yeah, that's another one. But here's the thing. Jade comes back as a face, attacks Chris Statlander as a face. Like, huh? Like I said, it's the world of tweeners right now. We don't really know who to cheer for and who to boo. She loses, slips into the pair, mentions that she's become toxic and no one will support. Nah, nice. I'm all in on this Mandy Rose return to wrestling. So yeah, we're getting Jericho Guevara next week. Like, this is... How long has it been? 3 weeks since we've had a tag team go against each other in a main event or a big match? Like, Tony gets on these kicks of what he's booking here. Is there something Mandy Rose did? Would love to see her back too. Is Mandy Rose? No. You're thinking of CJ Perry there. If that's who you're referring to. Mandy Rose is the one that got booted off NXT because she opened up a fan site. CJ Perry is Miro's wife, and that's a whole different storyline too. And I think that if you want to turn Miro into a full-fledged heel, they're actually doing it a very un-PC way that might be the best way to do it. Because if Miro's going to be deemed as a sort of a Neanderthal old school, something like that, what better way than be a chauvinist to your wife and say you shouldn't be here? Miro's been getting a huge... Well, of course he has. Because everybody just wants to see him. Here's the thing. When you're doing pops, you can get a pop that's loud for a cheer and loud for a boo just as much. Don Callis is proving that right now. That could be a pop that everybody instantly wants to murder you. And I think Miro can get that energy there if we really want. He's grown into a man that he had 2 wives on TV. Wow. Sorry, I just saw the Blue Jays score and I'm a little depressed right now. They're getting shelled worse than the Giants did on Sunday. Brother, brother, brother. And it's funny because, oh, I got a feeling this might be another kind of, I don't want to say retirement match, but this could be a match where Jericho takes a ton of time off after. I think they're starting to, or at least they did for a while. And he is going to be a money-making player. I love promos like this. Sorry if I heard that stomach growl. Like, where'd that come from? If Sammy Guevara is 100% in this match, Jericho shouldn't even be close to him. And Jericho's age and ability. Jericho puts everybody over in their first match. What's this Smang It sign in the back? All right, we like this. So this is another partner versus partner match. Oh. There's the promo shot. All right, it says the Sex Gods versus Brochachos. Let's book it. Let's book it. I love it. Now he's starting to ramp it up. Okay. Cut it. Done. No more. Finish. That was about a little bit. That last little bit didn't need to be there, but it didn't hurt it that much. And they're both staring at each other so nobody jumps the other one. Nice. No, it's going to be fun to see what they come up with for a finish on this one. I think Sammy is going to win, and Jericho's going to go for a long break as Jericho puts over another talent for another time. And now Jericho's walking out the heel tunnel. Makes things interesting that, uh-oh. How do you know that? I love the fact that they say, oh, he'll be fine in 2 weeks. We're just not going to... And Cole's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. Wow. I really wonder which way we're going to go with this. Wow. Oh, this is amazing. Wow. Wow. Let's go. That was awesome. That was awesome. Oh, man. The fact they could roll it right off his tongue as quickly as he did. Thank you, Zodiac, for that. Let me get the... I'm just getting the prediction up for the next match up here. Got to come up with... I'm going to have to come up with some different methods here, but... There's the next one for you guys. And Taz with the University of Michigan hideout. Ah, yeah. I'll be honest, I missed it. I'll have to go back and check it out. But I will say this. I absolutely love... I love that the wrestlers aren't afraid to do stuff like this. Just throw it out there. Because you know it's going to get a viral moment out of somebody. If anything, Scott Steiner's going to come up and applaud it. I love how they're bringing it up for people so that they actually know what the heck's going on. Because with AEW being such a young company the way that it is, a lot of fans are just getting into it. Like, you're going to get this for another, well, hell, I wouldn't mind if you do it all the time. But the fact they're getting newer fans and they keep giving recaps to like stuff 2-3 years ago, because these matches are so rare, when people know that they're getting an extra long, like, when they're getting a rematch like this that's been 3 or 2 years in the making, explain what happened on the previous one, because a lot of, I would say more so than in the Fed or Impact or something, this is probably the biggest, you're going to get biggest increase in fans here in terms of percentage wise, so they need to know what's going on. Now here's another question. What do you think about Cage's face paint? Oh, missed. Hit the second time. That was awesome. Didn't even think of misdirection Jones. Taz bringing the Jones back. That was a rough reversal, but at least it got through. They're going to try this again. Is that the... I'm assuming that's the face paint on Page's chest. Or did he just blow a peck? I got a feeling he might have just blew a peck. Who knows? It's just a perfect size, though. That's the thing. Is this face paint an homage to the Warlord? Maybe. But he's been doing so many different face paint interactions here. Like, he's done the Ultimate Warrior. He's done this one, like you said, maybe the Warlord. I do know that he's been trying to do as much Terminator as he can. I would think the T-8000 would be a hell of a pick. Just because of the T-1000 being part of MK11. The hell? Look at that bruising, chat. That's a torn pec. See, now Nana has to literally stop doing everything he's doing. There we go. There we go. Like, not even a hesitation. Let's go with the dance. Love to see Cage win here. He won't, though. Need to build Page back up. No, I think, honestly, I think we might get Cage here. And I'm actually really happy that we got pretty heavy bets opposite here on this one. I think it's face paint. It's on his right hand, too. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That's why a lot of people hate wrestling Darby, too. Because they get covered just as much. The only reason I thought maybe it was a Tor. Wow. My English is going so well today. The only reason I thought it was might have been a tear is the fact that the outer ring of the thing that looks like a bruise there almost looks purple versus the rest that's black. But now that you get a little closer on it, it is starting to fade away. So that actually makes a lot of sense. Me fail English? That's impossible. When you mess up, just say it's Canadian slang and you're good. I appreciate you turning everything into magic here. And I'm not talking about, Magic Mike and whatnot, but, No, I will say, I get my words tied up a little bit here. It's been a while since I've been calling wrestling matches, so those tongue twisters I used to practice don't really come into play anymore because, if you're not working, you don't have to worry about that stuff. So, but yeah, I would love to see Cage get the win, even if it's like a sneaky win due to interference by Swerve there right by the end. Just to build up something, like I think this Swerve versus Page match would be absolutely great for WrestleDream, right? I wonder who else they're going to bring over for New Japan Talent for WrestleDream here up on the 1st. I know that they have a show that night, but like Zack Saber's already guaranteed to come over. Pretty sure we're probably going to get a Will Ospreay sighting somewhere in there. Because I believe it's 2 weeks later he's wrestling for Impact. Oh, that is nice. Oh, yeah, that definitely was face paint. My bad. I was getting Cody Rhodes nightmares there. I turned into one of those guys that was staring at Aaron Rodgers all Monday night, trying to watch the replays, figure out what the problem was, instead of just letting the doctors figure it out. Not that Aaron Rodgers would really let a doctor figure out what the problem is, There goes the rest of my political commentary for this evening, hopefully. But I really wonder what the final ticket count's going to be for next week. AEW's also put themselves in a bad position. They overpriced their tickets originally, and then like a week before, they'll just cut the prices big time. Like, I know when we were in Edmonton here, front row seats were like I heard they were a very high number in 3 digits, if not 4. But then day of show, you could get a front row seat for like $37. As they were discounting them just to fill it up, right? I was still too cheap. I was paying my $40 for a 1 ticket. I was happy. Uh-oh, he's cowboyed up. He's cowboyed up. Off the ropes. Interesting how they made it to the outside. So we're just looking angry. Really? At least Hangman's smart enough. He's smarter than most video games. And he got caught in a crucifix. God dang it. Gosh dang it. That is an awesome reversal there. The only reason I think Cage also might win this is the fact that, remember what happened to AR Fox when he lost? Cage could be in that same group, or else maybe Swerve's getting rid of everybody. There could be a chance of that. Flying Cowboy! You would think an anxious millennial cowboy would be a little bit more afraid to take off, right? Nice press, one. You know, Buckshaw's got to finish this if he's going to finish it, right? At least we're getting some good timing here with these matchups. We got one more match before the main, and I'm assuming that looked rather easy for that German. I'd assumed Strong versus Joe will go 20 minutes at least. Ah, we're getting to This Is Awesome chant. That's not bad. Except I don't see anybody in the crowd actually chanting it. I see people clapping. Ha! Finally! That's what I was wondering about. Why aren't you just ducking? Oh, there he goes. There. I was waiting for the inverted hand. Oh, went for the F5 and missed. Nice reversal. Deadeye Jones. We're getting Jones in cities tonight. I love it. I honestly thought it was going to end up being Cage. Congratulations on your 500-point victory. Jagger and Zodiac. All right, so now this is probably where we get the promo setting up WrestleDream. I don't think they're going to do this next week. We're getting pretty full already. Heh. All right. Ha! Take the crowd off, Donna. Let's see if this mic actually works. Well, he's got a point there. Yeah. Please say WrestleDream. There's a reason for that. Yep, here we go. we go. So for those that don't know, Swerve basically started out at an area with Defy. Oh, and here we go. A little extra beatdown. He didn't start out at Defy, but he actually helped start that promotion up. Like, was ended up being one of the central characters for it. Nana, back to the dance. Who's coming through the crowd? Ah, here we are. Darby and Nick Wayne will be on that card. I'll almost guarantee it. Oh, it was great. See, now if he's knocked out, he should be still doing the dance on the ground, right? Just to make it even more funny. Yeah, I would expect Darby and Nick Wayne. We already got Bryan Danielson, which realistically could be a main event match, having Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. It all depends on what else we got. So now, Callis is trying to recruit Garcia. So what the hell is that supposed to mean? So what the hell does that mean? Are we supposed to be getting... Yeah, I'll have to look that up after the stream too, because, well, that dance is sort of, the Arizona Cardinals don't get to celebrate much of anything these days because, how do I put this? The most common thing that they get to hear all the time. Aww. And... But I will admit, their quarterback is a hell of a Call of Duty player when he's allowed. Even when he's not allowed, he does it anyway, but that's beside the point. But, here's a question for you guys, and I don't know if you heard this or not. And I know it has nothing to do with wrestling right now, but it came to my mind when we were starting to talk about athletes and video games. Is their quarterback down? Yeah. Their quarterback's always been down. He's either down with a knee injury, which he is right now, or he's down with COD. He's too busy playing COD. He doesn't even study the playbook. That's the big controversy down in Arizona. So, but Tyreek Hill, he's the wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins now. He used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Many considered the top receiver in the NFL in terms of just an instant threat downfield. He came out yesterday after the game, after they won against the Chargers, and said he doesn't check out tape on the other team. What he actually does sure is an instant threat, yeah. And I'm not talking about that Cash Wheeler type instant threat, okay? But he actually came out and said after the game yesterday, he doesn't study film on his opponents. What he does, he actually goes into Madden And as he's playing Madden, he checks out everybody on the Chargers lineup and see what their awareness is and what their rankings are, and he goes with that to determine what they can and can't do against him. Like, if you guys get a chance, check out the interview that he had post-game, and it just floored me that the fact he uses a video game to determine his what he should do. Like, if he really wants to know what to do, maybe come watch my streams of NFL Blitz 02. You know, that could be, it's like, it's working. Yeah, well, when you're an athlete like him, you can skirt around certain issues, right? Like touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, right? So here comes the Jade introduction again. I love the fact that they're showing Collision highlights on Dynamite. Like, let's face it, the ratings for Collision are always going to be... They're not going to be spectacular, to put the polite way to put it. Because a lot of people forget. Wrestling on Saturday for TBS was always a good thing. Oh, they're not even pissing around. They're doing the match on Friday. Holy crap. Build that shit up, girl. All right. I guess. Let's just get that feud over and done with, apparently. But yeah, I like the fact that they're showing a lot of stuff that happens on Collision during Dynamite, because TBS Wrestling on Saturdays was actually at 6:05 Eastern, not 8 o'clock. And a lot of people don't realize there is a big difference between those two time slots. The 6:05 slot, for the most part, doesn't have a whole lot going on. Because most sporting events start at 8 o'clock Eastern for the most part on Saturday, right? So as far as I'm concerned, it'd be a lot smarter to... If they could find a way to put it earlier, great. If not, well, at least this is a way to get people over there, right? At least an attempt. Darby wanted to start. Nick's like, no, I will. Can you imagine how much these two are going to get over? Ah, here we go. How many daddies are dead right now? But I will say this is a little bit of a damn it D'Lo moment once again. Wasn't that spot just occupied last match? Oh, never mind. They're coming over to commentary. But still, Tony Khan's been famous for this. He's got themed shows where he's got bullet points that work the exact same for multiple matches here. I'm not saying it's horrible. Oh, Jesus, I forgot. Sorry, guys. I'm not used to this. Nick. Since I think I'll probably end up deleting this because we ain't going to get to that point, let me just throw a quick one out. In case anybody thinks that 2.0 is going to win, I'll give you a chance to throw it in there for yourself. I promise you guys I'll give you a couple shots here at doing the channel points thing. I think we'll try for the rest of the month here during Dynamites. That we'll see how it goes. I do like the multiple scenarios thing is starting to help out a little bit, but we'll see how things go. Attaboy, Hager. That is a powerful power bomb. Like, I like those. Those look a little more vicious than the. These look a little more vicious than the typical Kevin Nash will just drop you and let you fall yourself kind of thing. I do appreciate the 75 points going towards 2.0 right now. Thank you for extending the courage that I have right now to see how many degenerate gamblers there are that take the underdog in this. But no, I was just reading over the sports highlights, and the Blue Jays are officially down by a touchdown and a field goal to the Texas Rangers, who right now they're the team they're chasing for the last playoff spot. So pretty sure playoff baseball is over for the year for the Blue Jays. If they don't know how to start hitting a little better. Oh, and since a lot of you guys are fighting game fans, I just want to give you guys a little quick heads up. Tomorrow is Mortal Kombat 1 release day. I do have the premium package ordered. I do have to go pick it up, though, so I do pick up physical copies of my games. So by the time it gets loaded up and whatnot, there is a Nintendo Direct and a PlayStation State of Play coming up tomorrow. So we'll probably we'll start getting into the story mode of Mortal Kombat 1. My guess is around 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain. We're going to wait till after the State of Play, and I want to process that and see what basically my holiday budget's going to look like. And then from there, we'll get into the story that's supposed to be very unique. The reason I do the story is because 9 times out of 10 when NetherRealm games, the story mode is a little more family friendly. So I could actually put this up on YouTube without getting flagged 16 times from hell. So. But yeah, I am just looking forward to the slate of games I'm going to be able to play here in the next week. And then it's perfect that my week off work is going to culminate with WrestleDream. So almost feels great that wrestling's going to be the final thing that we get to end things off on here. Just also a reminder for anybody that is local that is watching here, we 2 members of the community here, That Canada guy, or That Canada dude here on Twitter, and Collins Melball, Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk, affectionately known on our YouTube channel. They're actually going to be hosting a panel at the Edmonton Expo coming up. Guide to an intro into Japanese wrestling, stardom, and New Japan. So if you're interested in that, just message me. I'll send you over the details. But it's coming up this Saturday at the Convention Center here in Edmonton. So really proud of those 2 and everything that they've done for it. So all the hard work that they put in for over a year now is just, it's really starting to pay off for them right now. That was an awkward code red. A very awkward code red. Probably get another, I would assume another 5 minutes out of this. We got to get another blind tag into Nick Wayne here. Man, did I call that. Looks like a young Oz cutter there. You know what? It's funny. It looks like it's staged, but Daddy Magic actually did a real smart move there. He waited until 2 to let his partner get a little bit of time to breathe. That looked awkward, which doesn't really surprise me either. All right. That was cool. Synchronicity in its best there. I appreciate the 75 point sacrifice here. Here comes another promo, another WrestleDream match being set up. All right, how many other dead dads are they going to talk about tonight? Ha! Which they beat you, Christian. Ha! Got him! Let's get the goal out for that one. Yeah, you did. He dragged out Nick Wayne. Oh. All right. Well, we got another match for next week. Said a regular partner, yeah. It makes me wonder if they're actually going to do... What did he mean by that? Well, he was with Swerve Strickland. He was a replacement for AR Fox, remember? Because Fox didn't mention to Tony Khan that he couldn't make it across. But yes, my thoughts went there too. The fact that he was talking about regular partner. Now, here's the other thing that came up that makes things interesting here. And I don't know if a lot of people realize this or not. We had all these reports about Edge's contract ending at the end of September. Technically, the 20th is the second half of September. That could be near the end. While I wouldn't expect it at Arthur Ashe Stadium, could you just imagine the pop? The only reason I don't expect it is the fact that if he could, I would think Tony Khan would advertise the living hell out of that because he needs to sell tickets. What I think happens is Darby and Sting get the pin again on Luchasaurus. And at Full Gear at the Forum, he mentions that he didn't have his regular partner, but he will at Full Gear. Because I'll tell you right now, they are looking for... they're looking forward to having a A+ show at the Forum every chance they can, because that's where all the network executives are. And if they want to work on getting their future contracts, and like, they got to really show up, because the quote unquote reason that they got AEW Collision, which a lot of people agree they were going to get it anyway. I will just show. I thought it said next week instead of up next. It scared the hell out of me there. But if we end up getting, like, they were going to get the show regardless. Sorry, I'm getting myself back on track here. It's just, it would have taken a lot more convincing to get them a prime spot like they did, without somebody like CM Punk basically holding the Forum together. As much as people like to say it's so that that show was set up so that CM Punk could have his crowd in his separate size, I don't think that, while that is a bonus side of it, I don't think that was the main reason. It's the same reason why Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns were exclusive to SmackDown. It's because Fox said, we want them exclusive to our show. We want to give people a reason to watch our show over here. Now, TV rights in WWE are all up in the air right now. That's a whole different ball of wax altogether there. But it's pretty amazing what's going on right now, that they're sort of transforming it into a regular show to go along with Dynamite. So if you don't show up and you're not willing to buy the whatever to get to see it, you're actually missing out on storyline peaks. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still not paying the $8 for it right now, $8 a month. If it's true that they're going to get a full streaming service, that I will get into. And I'll also tell you this, if they're getting a streaming service, we're watching pay-per-views live together. Frankly, if it's a $15 a month streaming service versus a $50 pay-per-view, I think more people can afford a $15 streaming service for it. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen here for the rest of the year. I'd almost think that they announce at the Full Gear show, and I know I'm thinking way ahead here. If they're going to announce a streaming service, they'll announce it in the Forum, and they'll announce it starting in January. Could you imagine for the beginning of the new year, having it there, then you got 3 months to set up so that you can get Revolution all ready to go on that platform? Because I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of paying $50 for a pay-per-view anymore. Like, if I didn't have to pay the $50 for a pay-per-view, I probably wouldn't feel so bad for, an $8 a month fee to watch Collision. Every time I see that symbol for Roderick Strong, I think of Sept Sapp still. I know a lot of people do. So Roderick Strong has officially become the D'Lo Brown of AEW. And I love the new t-shirts they got. Neck support. Or Buff Bagwell. Yeah, that's true. I'll give a gold coin on that one. The only thing I wish is they would load that neck brace with something. You know, if he had like a plastic brace that he had to wear on his neck and then he could use it as a weapon, that would be cool. Now, to me, if we're looking at this just based on who's wrestling and no storylines involved, this should be a walk for Joe. Realistically, the amount of momentum that he has, let me get this out here for you guys. And I will throw it on for 10 minutes because this is our main event. There you go, folks. The last prediction of the night is available now. Feel free to throw in your channel points for that. But yeah, realistically, like, the storyline sort of makes this more compelling of a match. So if he's a heavy chopper, why wouldn't you go after his chopping hand? Always makes you wonder, when's the one moment that, when does Roderick reveal that his neck is just perfectly fine? And Joe's just having a field day here. But I want to give full credit to the Kingdom here as well. Like, the fact that they've been able to step into this role here to just... They almost feel somewhat credible about this, right? And Joe's like, I don't want to win. I don't want to win. Jesus. Every time Roddy just pops in and does something little, gets a little bit of momentum built, Joe just says, nope. Joe's just like, no, to hell with you. Get up. Let's go. As we head into picture-in-picture once again for our first of probably 2 ad breaks during the main event. So, I do have to ask you, chat, and I know we've been at this for... This is, 4 years now, right? The Dynamite's been on. What do you guys think about the picture-in-picture? Do you prefer this over the commercial break? When it's done properly. Like, we've been going through this back and forth trying to figure out what the proper combination is. And I don't know, to me, it all depends on the match, basically. If you have the right competitors in there learning, basically knowing how to tell a story without the ability to have commentary get it over, Oh, it's fine, Zodiac. Yeah, like as long as the wrestlers know how to tell a good story during it. I will stay. I will still say that I popped for when Orange Cassidy beat Kip Sabian in the picture-in-picture commercial break. Just because I know some people were absolutely fuming about that. Better than not having it. Yeah, well, a lot of people think that, it's better not to see what's going on versus what is for those 2 minutes. Because it was so formulaic and was always the same thing going on. Like if somebody was having a count out, they were having a count out to like 3,000 on the outside. For me, it just, like I said, for me, it's all about who's in there trying to sell a story at the same time. That's one of the biggest things right now. Like you got guys like Strong and Joe here who have been around for years. It happens regardless. I want to see what the live audience sees. Yeah, that's a very good point. And it almost gives you an incentive to go to the shows because this is what you're going to see at the show. So I see it's a very good point. Like there's a lot of things that need to be fixed up with AEW, but I think this might be one of the best things that has happened for the tenure of AEW. Picture-in-picture is better as a fan in attendance too because there's few obvious commercial breaks. That's true. That absolutely is a great point there, Jaeger. We got seems a little bit more continuous, a little bit more flow to everything, which actually, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here. So now we still got about 10 more minutes here to have this get settled here, which I love the fact they're giving 20 minutes for this to breathe. Both these guys know how to deal with 20-minute matches. Elbow to the chest. Joe not bringing out the usual hits here. Well, the one thing I do like about Joe here is the one thing that hasn't changed is the fact he's not waiting to 2 to kick out. If he can kick out at 1, he's kicking out at 1. Taven's eyes look like you're about to bug out of his head. He's trying to force that choke. Or force that twist, sorry. Don't encourage Joe to remember about guillotines here. That's not a good sign. Well, so much for not worrying about the usual hits here. There's the pin. Turn around. Watch it AEW Plus, so it's action all the time. Commentary stays on as well. Occasional laughs. That's fine. Yeah, like I do know sometimes during the earlier shows we were getting the AEW Plus feed. Oh no, that was when that's when AEW Plus was still free up here. The Rampage and the Rampage and Collision shows were actually the international feeds that you're getting, Jaeger. So yeah, I understand what you're saying there too. And I like the fact that they could breathe and relax a little bit for a couple minutes. They still got to be somewhat professional, but they could still, you got to be, as much as they allow people to be open and free during these shows, They got to be, in many ways, they got to be very restricted on what they do in commentary. Plus, you're also not trying to remember promo spots or... All right, folks, just under 30 seconds left if you want to get your prediction on this match. Feel free to throw in your channel points, see what you like. So you try to get... I don't know if you're going to be able to get the stronghold on him here. Yeah, I remember that too. The Rampage and Collision do have the full breaks where it's just... There's Vintage Joe. Where they have the just the symbol out there. Well, I'm sorry. As much as they bring up the Muscle Buster here, this move will always scare me. Ever since Tyson Kidd, this move will always scare me. Wow, really? We still got 8 minutes left. Yeah, Jaeger, you'll have to let us know how much AEW Plus is, just because in Canada we have TSN Plus for those two shows. It's basically the equivalent to ESPN Plus. And it's $9 a month. Wow. We got like 8 minutes to go. We still have... So I'm assuming that Joe is going to do his own promo to put this over, and maybe Adam Cole will come out. Or we might just fade to black early tonight. To me, that just... it's wasting money, but... Oh, Wendy! Kid. What else is he gonna take? He could be hurt, maybe, yeah. Oh, a VPN for 7 US a month. Oh, okay. Here's where Adam Cole comes out, and this is when the fight really gets on. Okay. Speaking of devil, and he appears. Ha! He's fine, then all of a sudden, as soon as Cole shows up, yeah, no. This is... Yeah, I hope somebody watches the damn video about this. All right, so we know it's BS story. Now, at least now it's a little bit more obvious. At least they're making it a little bit more obvious now. Oh, this is hilarious. What I got a feeling is right now we're going to get the Kingdom attack Cole. That Strong's going to come off the gurney and attack Cole as well. Adam! O'Reilly has to be coming back soon. Yeah, I would think so. They're seriously going to have to figure this story out because this is the most obvious plot point of the night. And there's Joe just to that was a quick knockout. That was a quick knockout. That's a hell of a... Okay. That's going to be an interesting main event next week. Hot diggity damn. All right, they're actually giving them time to actually promote the end of the show here, so... I love the fact that pretty much every match on this card doesn't need much of an explanation as to why it's on here. Even if you've missed a couple weeks or you missed a week of wrestling here, you can pretty much understand where every storyline is. Like Claudio and Eddie are going to be like, this one's been fighting since 2011. Hopefully they do a package to set that up. And Jericho Guevara, you can go back to Allin and see how that worked out. So now Adam Cole comes out with a neck brace. As we are about to fade to black. So, all right, folks, what did you think of the show tonight? Personally, as good a go-home show as you're going to get. They set up the last match for the main event. So main events are main events. Eddie has to win the ROH title. Claudio's an AEW dude. Yeah, that makes sense. You get... I would think that would be the most likely scenario if there's going to be a winner there. If you're looking at everything else, Kota Ibushi versus Takeshita is going to be a hell of a show for WrestleDream. Strickland and Page at WrestleDream is going to be a hell of a card as well. Or a hell of a match on that card. Got the Luchasaurus and Christian Cage versus Darby and Sting. Which Nick Wayne, it's weird how Nick Wayne's not being involved in any of this, but WrestleDream is, well, I guess they're doing that tag with Luchasaurus and Christian Cage next week, so they could do Darby and Nick Wayne in Seattle at WrestleDream as well, because Nick Wayne's another Seattle guy along with Darby and Swerve, and there's a whole bunch of people from the Pacific Northwest that'll be over like Rover there. I really do hope Aubrey gets the main event because she is local for that show as well. So, but yeah, all in all, I'd say a really good show, a really good highlight of Dynamite here. Nothing, let's put it this way, there's nothing that we could consider horrible on the show. And right now, like I know I talked about it earlier in previous months, AEW has always had a problem with some kind of controversy, some kind of drama, some kind of headache, some botch that would go viral, whether it be behind the scenes or in the ring. Just straight up botch and screwed everything up. There wasn't that tonight. There hasn't been that all week. We're getting a lot of consistency here going across. And what we need to do is basically what the Young Bucks told Punk. 6 months, no drama. If you didn't hear that, that's what recently was stated was the contingency for the Bucks to start talking to Punk. Is you had to, basically Punk had to be drama-free for a week, for 6 months. If we can get AEW with a drama-free for that length of time, I think we're up for some good stuff here. AEW can fully plan without trying to worry about some black hole sucking up all the air. Exactly. And if anything, the Steiner math will go viral for a good reason. Yeah. All right, Zodiac, you have yourself a good night.